The trouble began with dreams and a coat. Joseph, favored by his aging father, told of sheaves and stars bowing, and brothers heard arrogance instead of promise. Far from home, they stripped his robe, sold him to traders, and smeared goat's blood on the cloth to shatter their father's heart. In Egypt, Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, bought him. Joseph learned the tongue, balanced accounts, timed harvests, and ordered storerooms until the estate ran on his competence. Trust gathered until a refused seduction became a shouted lie. Without trial, he fell from steward to prisoner, from courtyards to a cell that counted hours in bars of light. Even there, he chose work over bitterness. The chief jailer saw quarrels ease around him and gave him tasks no one wanted. Two officials, cupbearer and baker, arrived with troubling dreams. Joseph listened and answered carefully. Interpretations belong to God. Tell me. One was restored, one condemned. The third day proved it. As the cupbearer left, Joseph asked to be remembered. He was forgotten. Years later, Pharaoh woke to the same nightmare. 7 fat cows swallowed by 7 lean, 7 full ears devoured by 7 withered. Egypt's readers failed him. Memory shook the cupbearer awake. They shaved Joseph, brought him to the throne room, and Pharaoh asked for cents. Joseph did not flatter. He named a pattern. 7 years of abundance will be followed by 7 of famine, so severe the feast will be forgotten. Appoint a prudent steward. Take a fifth in the fat years, build granaries like hills, and feed the lean years with the memory of plenty. Pharaoh heard a plan, not a plea. He gave Joseph his signet and a chariot and set him over the land. The river swelled. Fields yielded beyond counting. Joseph stored grain until numbers were useless. Then the east wind changed, stalks browned, and hunger traveled faster than news. Egypt opened its storehouses. The world came to buy. Canaan starved too. Jacob sent his sons for bread, and they bowed before a governor whose voice sounded familiar. Joseph knew them instantly. The dreams of his youth stood up. He did not rush forgiveness. He tested for change, asking about their father and youngest brother, keeping Simeon as pledge, slipping silver back in their sacks to see whether guilt would harden or soften. When they returned with Benjamin, Joseph left to weep, then served them, giving the youngest a portion that once would have stirred envy. One last test, his cup tucked into Benjamin's sack, brought Judah forward to offer himself in the boy's place. The brothers who once sold a sibling now volunteered as slaves to save one. That was enough. Joseph sent out the attendants, wept so loudly the palace listened, and said, "I am Joseph." Terror crossed their faces. He did not pretend away the wound. He named it and aimed it. "You intended me harm. God has woven it for good, to keep many alive." He embraced them, sent wagons north, and the old man who had lived, bowed with grief, arrived in Egypt to see the son he had dressed in colors, now dressed in authority. The family settled in Goshen. Famine burned itself out while provision held. Joseph's stewardship did not end with crisis. He managed grain without cruelty, returned seed, strengthened Pharaoh's hand without crushing the people, and kept his heart from hardening. When Jacob died and fear rose again, old debts grow teeth in the dark. Joseph repeated the same truth and refused revenge. He had learned to turn control into care. People remember the ring in the chariot. The deeper lesson lives in the middle. Keep character when control is gone. Practice skill in small rooms so when a large room opens, you know what to do. Store in plenty so suffering does not have the last word. If your season is a pit, a caravan, a prison, work faithfully there. If your season is a palace, plan for others, not only yourself. Patience can turn what was meant for harm into a harvest.